Good morning, pet parents of Regina. I've got the monkey here with me today. I know that we are popping on here a little bit earlier than we normally do. I just figured that I would do this before we have customers start coming in, because we usually do these without masks, as you know, and then we try to run from the customers so that we don't make anybody uncomfortable because we're without masks. Good morning, Linda. What we are talking about today, you've probably seen in the headline. We've talked about this before, but it's always worth reminding folks because it is so very important. And it's about the treats that we give the little monkeys. That's what we want to talk about today because we know they like their treats and we know we like to give them treats, but we definitely want to make sure that we're always picking a really good, healthy treat. And the reason, there we go, hi Linda, hi Lee. The reason that we want to talk about what to look for in a treat, what to look to avoid in a treat, is because treats for us usually is something that, it's every once in a while. But treats for them is daily. So we want to make sure that we're doing a healthy, good treat, because if it's something that they're consuming daily, we want to make sure there's no bad ingredients in there. There's definitely no controversial and especially no harmful ingredients. So here's my one little example. I'm gonna put the monkey down. I'm going to ask you, what is this, you guys? Here's my question. We all know what this is, right? This is lipstick. Would you eat this? No. I wouldn't eat it. Would I feed it to Zaner? No, I wouldn't feed it to Zaner. So lipstick, we can see that even though this is not a wet liquid form, the lipstick retains its moisture. Okay, you probably are thinking to yourself, why is she talking about lipstick? Who cares about lipstick? Well, I'm going to tell you why we're talking about lipstick. Because lipstick has a preservative in it to prevent it from drying out, right? Lipstick, when we apply it, it goes on wet-ish, right? When we put it on our lips, because of the preservatives that are in that product in order to make sure it doesn't dry out. I don't want to eat lipstick. I don't want to feed lipstick to Zaner. I don't want to feed him any of the nasty preservatives that keep that lipstick from drying out. Here's the difference between lipstick and treats. Treats for our pets that use those nasty preservatives to keep the treat from drying out. We don't eat lipstick, okay? I'm gonna grab you guys, and because I need to flip you around here. Yes, the monster is watching all of the things that we do. Okay, so here are the things that are used. These are the preservatives. These are the nasty chemicals that are used to prevent lipstick from drying out. They can use ethoxyquin, they can use BHA, or they can use BHT. Any one of those three preservatives can be used in lipstick to prevent it from drying out. You know where else that's used? Pesticides, okay? Ethoxyquin, BHA, BHT used in pesticides. It's used in jet fuel. You guys, I could get my hands on some lipstick. I could not find any jet fuel or embalming fluid, okay? So embalming fluid, literally used to embalm bodies. That is what is put into embalming fluid, jet fuel, and pesticides. Ethoxyquin, BHA, and BHT. You know what else ethoxyquin, BHA, and BHT is in? Some of the most commonly purchased treats on the market. These are some of the most commonly purchased treats and therefore fed to our dogs on the market, okay? And they all contain some element of either ethoxyquin, BHA, or BHT. And again, let's remember where else these preservatives are used. These are not, there are some pet foods on the market that also include either ethoxyquin, BHA, or BHT. Now, they have made some changes to cat treats, okay, where they're not allowing some of these preservatives to continue to be used in cat treats, but they have made no changes in dog treats, no changes. So they are still allowing these preservatives to be used in these treats. These preservatives are known to cause organ damage like liver and kidney failure, cancer, blindness, immune deficiencies, leukemia. Like they have been proven to cause this in not only us, but also in our pets. So again, there may be some folks out there that go, yeah, but it's just a treat and he doesn't get it that often. Normally, the pups are getting and kitties are getting treats every day, right? So even if it's not a meal, and even if it is that once a little while treat, this is what we're putting into them. Jessica says, yikes, my kitties love Temptations. Jessica, we need to find the kitties a new, different treat that they love because, well, you know what? I'm going to put you guys back up here because now I need two hands for this. And don't need you to fall. Let's look at Temptations, Jessica. So first of all, I have, because they don't make it easy, you guys are not gonna be able to see this backwards, but I'm telling you, my old eyes cannot read these ingredients. So I make my own little notes so that I can talk to you guys about specifically my concerns with regards to the ingredients that they list in these treats. So one of the first ingredients that they do have in a Temptation treat that concerns me is chicken byproducts. Why do byproducts concern us? Byproducts are concerning because that means that they are a byproduct of the human food industry. That means it is not consumable by humans. They have already deemed that this byproduct, whether it's chicken or animal or beef or I don't care, as soon as it has byproduct listed in the ingredient name, that means that they have deemed this is not consumable by humans. Feed it to the animals. And you know how I feel about that, you guys. If I can't eat it or if I shouldn't be eating it, I'm never feeding it to the monster. So byproducts are always a red flag. If we see byproducts in food or treats, we don't want it, okay? It also lists animal fat, and most people would be like, well, they need fat, right? Agreed. But animal fat, two big question marks behind that, because what is the source animal? So when something is generic like that, when it says animal fat or meat product or meat fat or meat byproduct, or when they do not specify the source animal, we don't know where the source animal or what the source animal is, or if it is even one animal, okay? This is gross and this is disturbing, but this is how the pet food industry works. Animal fat can be made up of dead zoo animals, it can be made up of roadkill, it can be made up of euthanized pets. It can be made up of 4D meats, which means dead, diseased, dying, or disabled. That means that there is something wrong with that animal and we're never going to use it for human consumption, but feed it to the animals. Okay, so when you don't see something that is specific as to what type of fat, if it said chicken fat or pork fat or beef fat, then we at least know the source animal. But when it just says animal fat, we don't know the source animal, and that's another red flag. Dried meat byproduct. Again, Jessica, yikes, that is disturbing. It is disturbing, Jessica. Like it's, I tell this all the time. I tell folks this all the time. The pet food industry is one of the most lucrative industries in the world, but it is also one of the most deceptive industries. And they've got marketing wizards out there that would have us believe we're doing the absolute best, right? Here's the commercial. And then they come running and then they love their Temptations, but they don't actually tell us like what is in here. And so I am. So dried meat byproduct. Again, two concerns. Meat, we don't know the source of the meat. We don't know what the animal is. We don't know where it came from. Meat is not a specific indicator of what the source ingredient is, okay? And again, byproduct. So it's a dried meat, we don't know what it is, question mark, byproduct, not consumable by people, feed it to the animals. I disagree. And then finally, another concern that I have with this is a turkey byproduct meal. So again, byproduct is the big red flag there because byproduct means we can't eat it. They've deemed it non-consumable by humans. Feed it to the animals. I disagree. Get this out of here, right? We don't want temptations, Jessica, so we're going to find the kitties a new treat. Pepperonis, you guys. What about this? Pepperonis, the list goes on. Okay, so pepperonis, one of the most popular treats. Everybody thinks, oh, it's just a little pepperoni stick, right? Pepperoni, pepperoni. That's what they're trying to do with their whole marketing nonsense. BHA. Remember what I talked about with BHA? Jet fuel, embalming fluid, pesticides, okay? BHA is used to preserve lipstick, which we do not eat, but it prevents the product from drying out. That is the purpose of BHA in here, to preserve the pepperoni stick, to make sure it doesn't dry out. But remember what BHA does: organ failure, blindness, cancers. We don't want to put that in our pups. Glucose and fructose and cornstarch, all listed as primary ingredients. Again, so small, you guys. Fourth ingredient, sugars. Okay, so what do we always talk about with regards to eliminating from our pets' diets? The carbs. Because, you guys, stay with me. Traditional jar of kibble, that's 3 cups. 2 cups of sugar in that same jar of kibble. Why? Because we need to use starch in order to have this kibble stick in little tiny pellets. We need starch to make kibble. Our cats and dogs have no biological requirement for carbs. Sorry, I gotta back up. Our dogs and cats have no biological requirement for carbs, but we need starch to hold the pellets in their little shapes. That starch turns into carbs. When our dogs and cats eat the carbs turn into sugar. Sugar is what feeds disease. This is why it's important, and why I'm bringing up that pepperoni has glucose, fructose, and cornstarch, which all are sugar. Plus the BHA, don't forget that. More cornstarch listed in the ingredients. Propylene glycol, which is also, it's used to absorb water, and it is known to cause seizures. That's in here too. And then, of course, it also causes nausea and vertigo. And then the paint that they use, okay? So when we see whether it's in a food or in a treat, and I'm going to tell you right now, our cats and dogs do not care what color their food is. Pet food manufacturers do that for our benefit, so that we look at it and go, oh, that looks like meat. Oh, that looks like vegetables. Oh, that looks like food we would eat, because they've colored it. When they add dyes to the food, whether that's that blue dye number 2 or red dye number 5 or yellow dye number 40, I don't even know the numbers, you guys, and it doesn't matter. Any one of those, sounds like Zayner's trying to break out. Any one of those dyes that we see in the food, red dye, blue dye, yellow dye, when you see those, ditch that bag. That is literal paint, you guys. It's not food coloring like we would eat, even though food coloring that we would eat probably has paint too. But when we see colors added to their food or treats, that is literal paint. So that's another red flag. Throw that bag away if you see those red dye, blue dye, yellow dye, whatever the numbers are, I don't care. Not safe for them, because we're feeding them paint. Same thing with your food, whether it's treats or food. All right, you guys, Little soft milk bone, sugar, third ingredient. The one thing we're trying to get out of their diet, well, one of many, right? But the one big thing that we're trying. Claudia says, I still can't believe treats like these can be sold in stores, right? And they are some of the most, not some, they are the most commonly purchased treats. How many times have you been in the grocery store and you see somebody walking out with their 20-pound box of milk bones? Or their big bags of pepperonis and bacon strips. And these, we need to look at the ingredients, you guys. So sugar, third ingredient, and then BHA. Remember what BHA is. If you take anything away from this live, BHA, BHT, and ethoxyquin. And if you ever see those used in pesticides, used in lipsticks, used in embalming fluid, used in jet fuel, don't feed it to your pet. If you look in your cupboard and you see a treat that includes those ingredients or dyes, okay, ditch it. All right, we got some more milk bone. You're getting beaten up, milk bone, but until you change your stuff, I'm going to keep beating you up. Powdered cellulose in here. We know what powdered cellulose is, right, guys? For those that may not, powdered cellulose is essentially sawdust. Okay? The most common use of powdered cellulose in pet foods is in weight loss pet foods. Now, this is going to get a little off topic, but for those of you who may have a little furry guy that may need to lose a couple pounds to get back to his little slim and trim figure. Oh, my mother says, good job. Thanks, mother. Powdered cellulose is used in weight loss foods. The first thing I'm going to talk to with regards to weight loss foods, or ask you with regards to weight loss foods, is what food out there could we eat for the rest of our lives that would either help us lose weight or maintain weight and be complete and balanced in everything that we need? Nothing. Jessica says, well, I'll be definitely paying you a visit for some new treats. Awesome, Jessica. We look forward to seeing you. Okay, so weight loss food, right? You guys, let's talk about this. There is not a food in this earth, on this planet, in this world. There is not a food that we could eat for the rest of our lives that is complete and balanced, provides all of the nutrition that we need, and helps us lose weight or maintain weight. And it doesn't exist for them either. So the dirty little secret that the pet food industry does not want us to know is that what they use in a weight loss pet food is powdered cellulose, which is sawdust, you guys. It is an insoluble wood pulp that is not digestible by our animals. But when they eat their weight loss food, they're filling up on sawdust, so they eat less and they lose weight. Who wants to eat sawdust? Okay, so back on track. In this particular chew, powdered cellulose is listed. So again, if I see powdered cellulose anywhere, I don't want to feed Zane sawdust. It's ditched. Chicken byproduct. Again, byproducts, right? Byproducts are not consumable by us. Feed them to the animals. That's what they think. I say, we don't want to feed them what we can't eat. So if it's byproducts, there's your red flag. And BHA, okay? Again, pesticides, jet fuel, embalming fluid. I know you guys, I keep saying it, but it's awful. And we need so many people to know this so that these are no longer the most commonly purchased treats on the market. All right. Bacon strips. What was the commercial? Bacon, 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 bacon. And the dog would run around and smell the bacon and all the things, right? Okay. Glycerin, which again is used in your skincare products. If you're putting it on your skin, okay, fine. But you don't eat your face cream unless you're the duck off Friends. But anyways, sorry. You don't eat your skin cream. So it's different when we're applying something topical to eating something, okay? Sugar listed. Angie. Carly, you really are amazing. The animals have no voice, so you are speaking up for them. Thank you, Angie. You know what? I'm going to tell you guys, you can so easily distract me. For the longest longest time, I wanted to train killer whales. This is before I realized it was awful to keep them in captivity. And I was pretty convinced that if I wrote a compelling letter to the BC Aquarium, they would probably let me train the whales. And my dad, the HR guy that he is, said, I don't think so. Just because you really, really, really want to do it, you still need to be a marine biologist. But I knew I couldn't poke them with a needle, and I certainly couldn't cut them open to dissect them. And I couldn't be a vet for those same reasons. This is the way, Angie, you're so right. This is the way that I can help animals, and I don't have to do the things that I could never do. So anyways, totally sidetracked. Sugar in our bacon strips. Again, sugar is the thing we want out of the diet. BHA, a little bit of embalming fluid in a bag there for you. And paint. Again, because they list their dyes. Let me see if I can find them so I can know the numbers for you. Nope, I don't see it. This is because I need, like, you guys, I have to take pictures of these and then like blow them up so I can actually read the ingredients. That's how small they are. But the paint is in here because I've done this before. All right, finally, and this is a big one. Milk bones are very popular. You can buy ginormous freaking boxes wherever you go, and they're cheap. And everybody thinks, well, I got a big dog and he needs a couple treats a day, and milk bones are the way to go. I can assure you there is no milk and no bone in any of this. These are, I was trying to think of the kind of the equivalent for us. I couldn't come up with something bad enough to tell you guys. It would be like us eating the most lethal, toxic candy that we could find every day, which would also include paint. So this candy has to be tinted with paint. And then the BHA and the BHT and the ethoxyquin. Milkbone just has fantastic marketing, you guys. It does not have fantastic ingredients. They've got lots of dollars, deep pockets, big companies. Milkbone is owned by, I can't see, you guys. I should have looked at this before. Smuckers. There we go. Smuckers. Jellies and jams. Smuckers is who makes Milkbone. They also make pepperoni. They also make sausages, kibbles and bits, 9 lives, a ton. Okay. Do we want to talk about that really quick? Here are 4 of the top 10 biggest pet food manufacturers in the world. Smuckers, as I mentioned. Mars Bar, chocolate, Mars Bar candy. They make Iams. They make Royal Canin. They make Pedigree. They make Caesars. They make Nutros. They make Advanced. I can't read all the things. They make the prescription Royal Canin food. And a lot of people are going to say, well, who cares? They're a big company. Here's my concern. When your umbrella is so big that you're making everything from chocolate bars to prescription pet food, which BT Dubs does not contain any medicine or medicinal properties, and in fact, it's some of the worst products on the market, ingredient-wise, therefore nutrition-wise, I don't think you're really in it for the quality of the product so much as the quantity of the dollars that you can get from selling all of your products. Colgate-Palmolive. Again, these are the top 4 food manufacturers, pet food manufacturers in the world. Out of the top 10, these are the top 4. Colgate-Palmolive, they make Hill's prescription food. So again, if you're making everything from toothpaste to prescription pet food, are you in it for the right reasons? And Nestle chocolate bars. Again, Nestle makes Zooks. They make sorry, I can't read, you guys. Purina, Beneful, Elpo, ProPlan, Dog Chow. The list goes on. The list goes on. We need to know who's making our food. So again, I want to give you guys one more quick little look. And it's going to be backwards if I don't flip you around. So, here we go, trying to save paper, and this is what I get. We want to avoid ethoxyquin, BHA, and BHT. We want to avoid these preservatives. These are not natural. These are synthetic preservatives, and we want to avoid them at all costs, whether it's in our food or our treats. We do not want to feed these to our pets because what they are known to cause: organ damage, specifically kidney and liver, cancer, blindness, immune deficiencies, leukemia. The list goes on, you guys. So the red flags, and remember, these preservatives are used in pesticides. They're used in jet fuel. I could not get my hands on any jet fuel. They are used in embalming fluids. I do not want to get my hands on embalming fluids. They are used in lipsticks to make sure that the lipstick doesn't dry out. So we're going to remember the red flags if we see it in food or in treats. Synthetic preservatives, BHA, BHT, ethoxyquin, don't forget those words, you guys. If we see those, if we see dyes, red dye number 40, yellow dye number 12, blue dye number 5, I don't care what the number is. If you see those colors, ditch it, okay? So those are the flags that we're going to watch for. When we're looking for healthy, good treats, flip you around again. We can look literally at a single ingredient, deboned chicken. Haley, thank you for making these videos very helpful. I appreciate that, Haley, and I hope that it's helpful. Okay, so single ingredient, that literally chicken, just turkey, beef, salmon. Those are single ingredient treats. If we want to look at a good place to start, these ones, literally ingredients, beef lung. Okay, this one, beef liver, ingredients. Okay. These are the same. You're always, there we go. It's going to be tough to see on the yellow. Very tough, you guys, but there it is, beef liver. Or you can take a look at freeze-dried shrimp, freeze-dried bison liver, freeze-dried salmon, freeze-dried chicken necks, freeze-dried duck necks. That's a really easy way to start. If you're not sure what to look for a treat, find a single ingredient meat treat. That's an easy way to do it, okay? I hope that you guys do enjoy these videos. I hope that you got something out of it. I know I was a little bit early today, you guys, but I missed last week, so at least I didn't miss this week. I was trying to think. We have to cancel our Super Zoo trip. As you guys know, we told you we were heading to Vegas because it is a major pet industry trade show, one of the biggest in the world, where we could go and we could find a bunch of new and different unique products to bring back for you guys. And unfortunately, with COVID numbers, I really didn't think this was going to happen, but it did. COVID numbers are spiking in Nevada. Travel is not recommended to the state. So we have canceled our trip, but we do have a plan, you guys. So we made a promise to you that we were going to go out and find you some cool things, and we're still going to do that. We're just going to be a little bit more creative, okay? So I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. We are here today, 11 till 6. We're here tomorrow, 11 till 6, closed on Sundays, back again on Monday. So if we don't see you in store over the weekend, we will see you next week, and I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Thank you, Claudia. We will be safe. We will be safe, but we still got to find the floof's cool things. All right, you guys, have a great weekend. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.